Ren and Stimpy was already one of the wildest, most controversial shows Nickelodeon ever aired. But one episode crossed a line so hard, the network shut it down instantly. Today, we re-diving into the infamous banned Ren and Stimpy episode, Man's Best Friend. Unlike most lost episode rumors, this one is 100% real. Man's Best Friend was fully animated, fully voiced, and totally ready for broadcast. But when Nickelodeon executives reviewed it, they absolutely lost it. Why? Because the entire episode revolves around Ren and Stimpy being adopted by a military-style drill sergeant named George Licker, a character so intense, Nickelodeon already had concerns. George forces them into harsh obedience training, which starts off silly with him teaching them how to be a good house pet, but then it gets dark. Really dark. He puts them through brutal drills, forces them to use a litter box in an uncomfortable way, and just generally treats them with a level of aggression that was beyond anything the show had done before. It wasn't the usual over-the-top goofy conflict. It felt genuinely mean, and the network was not having it. There's a moment, the exact moment Nickelodeon banned the episode, where George Licker pushes Ren too far. After failing to properly protect George's prized collection of classic memorabilia, George threatens Ren, and in response, Ren snaps. He completely loses it. He grabs a boat oar and he beats George Licker in a slow, exaggerated, cartoonishly violent sequence that just lasts way too long. This wasn't your typical slapstick. This wasn't classic Ren and Stimpy dark humor. It was uncomfortable. Even by Ren and Stimpy standards? Nickelodeon executives reportedly said the scene felt sadistic and not funny, just disturbing. The episode was immediately rejected. And the message was clear. A line had been crossed that the network was not willing to let its audience see. The combination of the drawn-out beating and Ren's sheer rage made it feel less like a cartoon gag and more like a genuine, disturbing breakdown. After being banned, Man's Best Friend vanished from Nickelodeon. But it didn't stay gone forever. A few years later, when the show's creator, John Kricfalusi, left Nickelodeon and made the much more explicit adult spin-off Ren and Stimpy, adult party cartoon, this episode resurfaced. It aired on Spike TV uncut and uncensored. Fans were shocked. Seeing it in full confirmed every single rumor that had been swirling for years. The violence was way beyond kid TV levels, the tone was genuinely mean-spirited, and the pacing just felt off, lingering on the most uncomfortable moments. And the character of George Licker was clearly designed from the start for older, more mature audiences. Seeing the episode in its intended context made it crystal clear why Nickelodeon had no choice but to ban it. It just didn't fit, and it was a public relations nightmare waiting to happen. Nickelodeon banning it suddenly made a whole lot of sense. Even today, Nickelodeon rarely acknowledges this episode. Why? Because it embodies everything a children's television network fears. First, there's the potential for kids copying the extreme cartoon violence shown on screen. Then, there is the inevitable parent backlash and controversy surrounding a character who was meant to be a parody of tough love, but came across as abusive. And finally, it brings up the ongoing issues that were happening behind the scenes with the show's creator, which the network would much rather forget. So Nickelodeon quietly removed it from rotation. It's not on official episode lists, and you won't find it on their streaming platforms. They've essentially tried to erase it from history. But, of course, fans never stop talking about it. And it remains one of the most famous banned cartoon episodes of all time. So what do you think? Was Nickelodeon right to ban Man's Best Friend? Or was it just Ren and Stimpy pushing boundaries like they always did? Comment below if you want part 12, because next, we recovering a Rocco-esque Modern Life episode Nickelodeon shut down mid-production for being too emotionally real. Thanks for watching.